Hi, it's Erica from Birdsong, and I'm here today to show you how to make nourishing herbal infusions. So I use these in my own practice to nourish myself and my family, and I also use them very frequently with my clients. And what I want to show you today is how to do it, and also talk a bit about the tools you need and why you would even do it. So why? Nourishing herbal infusions are a really wonderful way to get a lot of the vitamins and minerals that you may not be getting in your food intake and in your life. Drinking a nourishing herbal infusion can kind of, like the way I explain it to my clients sometimes, is it can fill in the blanks that might be being left at a time when it's really hard to get all of the nourishment from your food. Today we're going to work with nettle. Nettle is an amazing herb if you've ever been anemic. It's also great for people recovering from childbirth, and it's a really nice supplement for people that have chosen a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle. Nettle is what I add to bone broth when I'm making a bone broth for someone that is leading a vegan or vegetarian lifestyle. It is high in iron. It also has loads of calcium, protein, and basically every vitamin and mineral letter you can think of. So nettle is everything. Everyone knows that I go on and on about her. She is an herb that I love very much and has helped me a lot in my life. And what is an infusion? So the difference between an infusion and a tea is the amount of herb you're going to use and how long you're going to steep it. So a traditional cup of tea would be a small amount of herb poured into a cup with boiling water, and maybe you steep for 5 to 10 minutes. In this case, an infusion is an ounce of herb in a quart-sized jar filled with boiling water, and then we're going to steep it for 4 to 24 hours. When I make this for my family or for clients, I will usually make it in the afternoon or evening, pour the boiling water over, and then let it cool down to where I can touch it, and then put it in the fridge, let it sit overnight, and strain it the next day. So let's begin. Here's my tools. So I'm going to just point to each thing. The first thing is, this is my bag of nettle. It's by Star West Botanicals. I got this off of Amazon.com. You might have heard of it. This is nettle leaf cut and sifted, and it's organic. Star West Botanicals is a great brand, as well as Frontier. Both of those brands have sustainable harvesting practices and offer organic dried herbs online. This is a pound bag, and if you're going to do this regularly, which I highly recommend you do, it's worth it to invest in a pound bag. It's less than $20. I'm going to have my canning jar right here. It's a quart-sized canning jar. This is a canning funnel. I really recommend getting one of these if you're going to do this regularly, because it cuts down on the mess. This is the strainer I'll use afterwards to strain it out. I'm going to get my herb out of my bag with this cup, measuring cup. This is a just average kitchen scale that I got, I think, at the I can't remember, maybe online. You can definitely get them online or at a department store for less than $15, and it is definitely worth it if you're going to do this regularly, so you can measure your herbs. On the off chance, though, that you're ever making this for yourself or someone that doesn't have a kitchen scale, that's why I got out the measuring cup, so you could see what this amount looks like. So let's begin. First thing I'm going to do is place my mason jar. I'm going to turn my scale on is what I'm going to do first. I'm going to make sure it's the right unit, which is ounces. Now I'm going to put my jar on it and also my funnel. And then I'm going to tare it, which is bringing it back to 0. So I hit the tare button. All right, we're ready. And then I'm going to get about a cup of my cut and sifted nettle. Here's what it looks like. It smells so good and grassy. Pouring that in. Yeah, and that's just a little over an ounce, which is fine by me right now. And I'm going to let it all go down in there. I've already boiled some water. But before I do that, I'm just going to pour this out into here so you can see about how much this is, which it's a lot, right? This is way more than a cup of tea. I'm going to put it back in now. Let's see what it actually measures at. Yeah, it's a little over a cup here. So if you don't have a scale, you could say about a cup to a quart. That's not exact, and you know, some people might debate with me and say that you definitely need to use a scale, but you know, we're making do when we can. So now I'm gonna pour a quart of boiling water, which I've pre-boiled, over it here. And then I have a long spoon that I usually stir it with, which I forgot to get out beforehand. Oh, but you've gotten one for me, thank you. So I'm just going to stir it up and make sure that all the herb is covered in water. And then once it's sat, which again, it's gonna sit for 4 to 24 hours, you definitely don't have to drink it right then, but you want to get the herbs out of there because after 24 hours, it will start to almost ferment. Once you strain it, you can put it back in your fridge and it will keep and be good to drink within the next 72 hours. I recommend a non-pregnant person to drink a quart of this a day. I mean, it's going to be a little less of a quart when you strain it, but I would drink this whole thing a day. If you are pregnant, you could drink 2, and if you're nursing, you could drink 3 of these. Okay, so that's it. It's too hot to touch right now because it is boiling water, but I would put a lid over it, and then I'm going to let it sit. And then once I can touch it comfortably, I'm gonna put it in the fridge and then I'll strain it out and we'll drink it. If you have other questions, let me know. I would be so into talking about this. There are other herbs you can do this with besides nettle. Some of them have different proportion sizes, and I hope that you feel really nourished by this. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hi, welcome back. So we've had time to steep our nettle overnight. Again, the steeping time is 4 hours. That's if you're really trying to rush it, to 24 hours. And you definitely want to strain it after 24 hours because if it goes much longer, it can start to ferment and doesn't have as good of a taste. So we're going to strain what we've got. Follow me over here to the cutting board. So the tools for this today is, again, the canning funnel. We have a metal strainer and another mason jar and a lid. So I'm gonna set it up. I'm going to put the canning funnel into the empty mason jar and then the metal strainer over it. I'm gonna open up our nettle. This is what she looks like. And just pour her in. And you wanna get all of the herb mix out. I'll show you 2 things you can do here. One is you can use the bottom of your jar if it's clean, and I know this one is, to just push it down. If your jar happens to not be clean and you need to use another tool, this can be great. A ladle can be really good because it's curved and you're just wanting to push to strain. The other thing you can do in this scenario, if you have clean hands, yeah, 1 second, guys. You can just do that. So all of the nettle can, 1 second, please.
Leave it together.
All of the nettle can be put into your compost. I'm just gonna set mine aside for this second real quick. And I'm gonna move my canning funnel. And then here you go. I want you to just see, it's so dark. It's a very, very dark green. It looks almost brown, but it is green. You can tell when you drink it out of a light colored cup. A non-pregnant or nursing person can have 1 of these a day. A pregnant person could have 2, and a nursing person can have 3 of these a day. So happy infusions.